sight. Anya Broja just going back to him. No goal in 36 Premier League games now for him. His last goal came against Fulham for Chelsea in a 2-0 win in October 2023. 2 years without a goal. And if he can get one tonight, it would be a huge relief for him, but I think it'll be an even bigger relief for the club he now plays for.
You know, he needs to find a home, he needs to find a regular slot. He's got the talent, ability, stature, but what is it? Why can he not sustain a place? Longevity, play week in, week out, play the minutes. He's got to feel like that's his next step for sure. Where does he go after this if he doesn't really manage to do that?
He was praised last week for working tirelessly and trying to bring the ball forward for Burnley. Swing of the water bottle for Marco Silva, who saw his side take the lead in this game, and since conceded to Leslie Ugochukwu's tidy finish inside the penalty area, the outside of his boot. So it's 1-1. If you missed any of the goals, you want to rewind the action, you can do on BBC Sounds. You can also use the radio dial at the top, and that will this evening allow you access to plenty of rugby union action. Sports Extra 2 and Sports Extra 3 right now has live European Champions Cup and European Challenge Cup action. Scarlets, Cardiff, Gloucester, Newcastle Red Bulls all in action this evening. And then that same dial tomorrow will give you access not only to Sunderland Newcastle, which you can listen to on BBC Radio 5 Live, but you've also got commentaries of Manchester City against Aston Villa in the Women's Super League, Palace against Manchester City in the Premier League, Forest Spurs, West Ham Villa as well. And then the 4:30 game is Brentford against Leeds. Alex Iwobi was down on the floor. He's back up, he's okay. And it looks like Burnley will get going with this goal kick from Martin de Brouwer, long into the Fulham half, down the middle of the pitch. Josh Cullen just steps in front of Samuel Chukwueze. Now wants Foster to go running down the right-hand side. Robinson steps across him, and that allows the ball to go out for a goal kick, 1-1.
That was better by Robinson, as you said. He's not been fit. Just had another look at the goal, actually. He just tries to anticipate that the ball's going to go wide. But Chukwueze runs inside him, and it's just the weight of the pass, the timing of that run, splits Bassey and Robinson, and then that finish. You'd be disappointed. Someone who's been very consistent in a Fulham shirt. As I say, the manager's desperate to get him back in. He knows what he can bring in that left-back area, but rightly, he will be a little bit rusty, a little bit slower as he gains the momentum, but he's got to do better than what he did there in that equalising goal for Burnley.
Signed by Scott Parker from Wigan. Anthony Robinson in 2020. Ball over the top, just takes a little touch off Ekdal. It is played on the pull back by Smith Rowe. All he could do is the ball was racing towards the byline. It's behind for a corner. Burnley taking no chances. Just another little switch off from the Burnley backline.
Well, the ball's good actually, puts you under pressure. Real deep run, real Smith Rowe, and the header's not good enough, is it? He keeps it in. It's really tight actually, whether it's gone out. They're asking questions to see if that's going to be the case, but it's a really poor header, isn't it? He does so well, doesn't he, to try and keep that in, Emil Smith Rowe, but Ekdal got to make sure he gets much more contact on the ball.
So Iwobi and Wilson are over this corner on the near side, the left for Fulham. Iwobi runs over the ball, doesn't connect with it. Wilson now swings it in. Burnley clear it away at the near post. Robinson dinks it back up. Wilson controls that beautifully out of the air. He just puts a little chip into the box, and the downward header from Calvin Bassey. Fulham are back in front. Burnley are a hut behind again. Bassey runs over to the corner, kneels down in celebration with his arms aloft in the sky. And Fulham have put Burnley under more pressure here. Burnley staring down 7 defeats in a row in the Premier League. Burnley 1, Fulham 2.
It was a really well-worked goal down the left-hand side for Burnley. His point of view, they've got to do better. It's inside his right shoulder. You've got to get out, you've got to be higher. But it's the run from Wilson. He angles it, he stays on side, he comes in the blind side, takes a touch, he's composed, he waits. And you know about his assist, you know about that lovely left foot. He just dinks it to the back post. He watches it all the way. Great technique, head up, gets upright, wonderful ball. It's an absolute sitter. Just jumps forward. Bassey with a simple header downward into the net. Really poor from Burnley though.
He's in a real purple patch at the moment, Harry Wilson. That is a 4th game in a row. And he's been involved in a Fulham goal. 2 goals and now 2 assists in 4 matches. He's in the purple patch and it's the best run of his life in a Fulham shirt, and they're back in front and they want more here. Fulham trying to quickly put a little bit of daylight between themselves and Burnley. COYI from the left-hand side, thought about the cross, changed his mind, has reverted back down the near side channel, and Fulham have now worked it into the centre circle. Burnley fans trying to get behind their team again. I think what's been most impressive about all 3 goals tonight so far is the off-ball runs that has been involved in each one. Emile Smith-Rowe getting clever at the corner, Chukwu timing it perfectly for his equaliser, and then the run of Harry Wilson then to tee up Calvin Bassey for the header.
Listen, the first goal's clever from Fulham, regards to the front post, picking him out, that deep run from Smith-Rowe. It's awful defending, isn't it, for the first one?
We're off again here. This is COYI, who's looking out to the right-hand side, has moved back in field. Smith-Rowe, first touch is a little heavy, he'll be put out to the left-hand side. It takes a nick off Twanzebe, does it? And the referee says Fulham corner.
Yeah, the weight again is really good. It's about the detail, the counter-attack. COYI just getting his head up centrally, drifting out wide, and actually Smith-Rowe is so clever. He tried to...
From Jimenez, Esteve gives him the shoulder, all is fair, and Burnley have come out with the ball from a rather nervy position.
What an old-school shoulder challenge that was, wasn't it? He just left it and said, have some of that.
Burnley have 3 over on the right-hand side here. Foster, it's a heavy touch. It just invited Anthony Robinson to come in. Anthony Robinson thinks the last touch was off Lyle Foster, so he gave up chasing the ball to the byline. And Burnley have got themselves a corner here. We'll see the replays. We'll see if there was a touch. I think Anthony Robinson might have a case.
Plus some. I think that's the point. You can tell, can't you, the reaction a lot of the times. He sort of goes across, but you can't obviously charge to the official. That's a poor decision.
Right in front of it as well. So a corner kick to Burnley, far side the right in this second half. Where the Bob Lord stand meets the Jimmy McElroy stand. They've filled those corners in recent years with a steel structure. Whipped into the near post, Esteve's header. He flicked it on, but not near the goal enough. In fact, the ball runs over towards this near side touchline, and it's just shielded out of play by Jimenez.
It's a good ball in. Trying to whip it all the way around that far corner. Esteve sort of gets that contact front post, but it's sort of off his shoulder, sort of his back. He's got to do better, just use the pace, guide it, and heads right across the other side. Just guides it out. They're just taking the time, aren't they? Delaying it. Fulham wherever they can, and poor one.
Oh, Smith-Rowe's passed it back, but he's passed it to Brun Larsen. Leno reacted quickly and smothered it and stopped the Dane, finding the back of the net. Smith-Rowe switched off. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself in this game with some of the lazy mistakes that have been made, and Brun Larsen was alert, was on his toes. Thankfully, from a Fulham perspective, so was Bernd Leno. Burnley on the right-hand side, trailing by 2-1. Ball bounces into the box, flicked in. Oh, Fulham making a mess of that. They made a real mess of it, but no one in a Burnley shirt can get the shot away. Broja goes down, feeling there was a touch from behind. He stayed down in the penalty area. VAR, of course, can review it. Alex Iwobi with a little push out to the right-hand side. Now he's trying to get round Esteve. It's Bassey. Bassey flicks it onto his left boot. Left boot, wild shot, well wide, and it's a goal kick. Well, the central defender found himself in a centre-forwards position there, Calvin Bassey. So at one end you've got him lying on his back, and at the other end you've got Broja claiming there's a possible penalty here. Was his legs taken away from him by Calvin Bassey coming in from behind as he tried to take on the shot?
What he's done is he's stepped in front of him, so from Broja he's thinking, right, he's been caught, he's staying down just for them to have a little look at the situation, but it's not. Then Bassey darts forwards, incredible run, comes in the left-hand side of sort of the space, and then drives into the penalty area, tries to hit it left-footed. It's awful, isn't it? From absolutely brilliant to the sublime, and you see the disappointment, but what a run. He started in his box. Look at him now. He sat down, almost on the turf. He's getting a breath.
With a nosebleed from going that far forward. That said, he has scored in this game, Calvin Bassey, as we watch replays of Brun Larsen hitting the chest of Bernd Leno in the Fulham goal. So we've had 11 minutes of the second half, played at a good tempo. Chances at both ends for both sides, and Fulham still leading 2-1.
Do you know what, when you look at that chance, Brun Larsen, he's got to score. His execution, his angle of approach, Emil Smith-Rowe with the back pass is poor. Goalkeeper puts pressure on. He's got to score. It's an awful finish.
Does it just look like a striker who's out of form without a goal this season?
He's got to score. It's not even... you get chances like that, one-on-one, it's a gift.
5 Live Sport live from Turf Moor. That's the voice of the former Premier League midfielder Michael Brown, watching one of his former clubs in Fulham winning as they are against Burnley. It is Fulham on the attack as well, with pace in their boots. Chukwueze has Robinson outside of him. Chukwueze has found Harry Wilson. Wilson, brilliant goal, bends it around the goalkeeper into the bottom left hand corner. Harry Wilson is at it again for Fulham. He celebrates with his arms aloft in front of the Fulham fans. They're pulling clear of the relegation zone. Burnley further in the mire, and it's looking like 7 defeats in a row for Scott Parker's side. 57 minutes played, Burnley 1, Fulham 3.
Oh, the counter-attack is it's really quick, it's clean, progressing with intensity, and everybody's running to get a piece of it. And that's the difference when you go quickly, the overlap. Robinson down the left-hand side, and then Chukwueze's just waiting. Wilson's joining right away the other side. The ball comes right across the face, and his touch is good. You know how good that left foot is. He just spots it 12 yards out to the right-hand side, left-footed, curls it all the way round into the far corner. What a contribution from him.
3rd goal in his last 4 games. Tidy finish from Harry Wilson on the Fulham counter-attack. Esteve was not close enough to him, and he found the angle, he found the shot, and there's a huge double fist clench in celebration from Marco Silva, who hugs his backroom staff as well. It feels like a big goal for Fulham. There were boos from the Burnley crowd when that goal went in, and for all their hard work in the second half, the opportunities they have created for Josh King, but it was cut out by a sliding Maxime Esteve. So Fulham have to settle for the throw in midway inside the Fulham half, their own half. Kenny Tete, the right back, to take it. A little bit of drizzle has started to come in at Turf Moor. Yellow card for Kenny Tete. Was that for taking too long?
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, that's it. But come on, give him a warning. It's not that long. There's been other things. It's all of a sudden they just get to this type of sort of number, and this sort of gets players suspended or something different. You know, I get it. I understand why the officials are doing it, but I think it was premature.
Yeah, it wasn't the longest wait in the world for Kenny Tete to take the throw. He's got the ball back in his hands here because Fulham have gained about 20 yards from his initial throw for another one. Esteve just gives King a little push in the back, all friendly though, and Burnley with 8 minutes to go in possession, but they are going to have to find the route through the goal quickly if they want to get anything from this game. It's a ball over the top. Fleming will chase, so will Tete into the corner on this near side. Fleming gives a little elbow in the back of Tete. He feels it goes down, needless from Zian Fleming, and that will be a Fulham free kick.
You see Tete waiting there. He's just looking over his shoulder thinking, is it going to run out? I've got the line of the flight, and then what I might do is I'll just wait for contact, fall down, and there's applause, isn't it? Somebody who's really contributed today in a team that have struggled. He got himself a goal, a wonderful strike as well. That was saved, that made a big difference in the game, you would say. As Leno gets down to the right hand side, that would have changed the outcome. The change has happened.
A real nice moment here, and it met with warm support from the Burnley crowd as Mike Trésor gets onto the field. Signed in 2024, this is his league debut for Burnley. It's been a long, long wait for Mike Trésor, but the Burnley fans warmly welcome him. The Belgian, 26 years old, has played in the League Cup this season, but this is his Premier League debut. Can he make an impact here at Turf Moor, a now windy Turf Moor? Fans huddled, their arms folded, the hats are on, the gloves are on, the scarves are on. There's Trésor. Burnley fans almost sarcastically cheering when their side are able to put a string of passes together there. Needs an outlet, Ekdal, to go forward. He has found one eventually in Josh Cullen on the halfway line to the right of the centre circle. Back to Ekdal it goes though. Fulham have seemingly got most channels cut off for Burnley, so they have to be inventive. It's lifted up towards Fleming, flicks it on with his head, won't fall for Broja, comes down to Edwards, Edwards to Fleming, saved by Leno, ball spins away and out for a corner. Fleming still has to wait for that first home goal of the season, but that was better from Burnley. Edwards and Fleming combining, Leno in the way.
Yeah, he's got to go across the goalkeeper. It's well worked, kept alive. I think as he goes to strike, his back foot's caught.
Corner is short. Cullen on the right corner of the penalty area. Ball bounces in, or it's clipped up by a Fulham player. Broja's header straight at Leno. Didn't really know too much about it, I don't think. Broja, there certainly wasn't a lot he could do. Leno catches it, two hands, goes to the floor. He's back on his feet now, knowing that time limit that the goalkeepers have this season with the ball in their hands of just 8 seconds. I think he was going for the time wasting and realised he can no longer do that. King trying to get forward here for Fulham. Ball trickles into the penalty area, and De Bruyne off his goal line quickly can pick it up. Burnley can start again.
Yeah, King almost won it. Do you know, down that left-hand side, he tries to push it across. Goalkeeper just on the edge of the area, ready for it. That's a warning how sort of quick they can be. Look a little bit open, as I've said, through the middle. They've got to close out the two centre-backs, and I know builds, partnerships are important. They haven't really had that opportunity to do so, but you know, can they now? Can they just find something? That chance there, as I said, with Fleming. He's got to go across, and maybe a little bit of contact, as I said, on his back foot. Here's the positions now. Oh yeah, we need more from him.
5 minutes left of normal time. Burnley trailing Fulham by 3 goals to 1. Trezor, huge cheers every time he's on the ball. Now it's Hartman from the left-hand side of the box. The cross is in. It's taken on the chest. It's in. Game on. Oliver Son side foots it into the bottom left-hand corner. And maybe there is hope again around Turf Moor. Burnley have 5 minutes to go and find an equaliser now. Neatly placed by Oliver Son. And it's Burnley 2, Fulham 3.
Hartman gets in a good position. It's sort of flicked over. They're having a little look. It is tight on the line, but it's a good chest down to that left foot. And he's